They're playing with Gino. Here's the rookie Natasha Boone. Played at San Jose State, her second at 16. Been a wild week already for the rookie.
Already has a wild scorecard to start the day on this back nine.
What do you think we showed for this? That's Natasha O-O-N. Yes. Made a quadruple bogey on her second hole yesterday. Fought back to shoot even par. Gino, as we mentioned, a bogey to start, but got hot in a hurry.
She bounced right back, showed that mental toughness with birdies in 4 of her next 5 holes.
Including there at the 6th. Playing with Lydia Ko, the player whom she calls her idol. A lot of people say that about Lydia.
Maybe a little friendly rivalry here. Anything you can do, I can do better.
And the Hall of Fame member, like Julie, went to San Jose State. You know Minji Lee. This for birdie at 5.
Had an early 3-putt bogey, but bounces back with birdies here and then again on number 6.
Well, this is one of the shots of the day. The second for Hedgen at the 5th.
This has been the easiest hole in the golf course today. This was a 6-iron into this par 5. Sensational.
Had 7 birdies and an eagle yesterday. This for her first birdie today. Probably feels like she's well over par compared to yesterday's round.
We did see a discrepancy, Morgan. Morning to afternoon yesterday. She went out in the morning, shot 63.
Picking a target about 5 feet right of the hole.
That's a beauty, and that's going to be for her 5th birdie of the day.
138, 140, short of the pin. Got to allow for some hit and release. That actually landed pretty softly.
Didn't quite crest that hill like she was looking for, Kay. So no protection from the weather.
That club was a liability a couple of years ago for Minji and turned it into an absolute weapon.
Just that little bit further and just to get just a bit more spin on it.
Challenging putt, pretty steep for the first 2/3, then a little downhill.
Hold out for eagle yesterday to finish out that round of 63. She'll be the defending champion next week at the Ford Championship in Phoenix. Came roaring from behind to catch. Comebacker for par for Jinhee M.
Yeah, looking through her numbers, it was 1.57 putts per green in regulation yesterday for him, which is anything under 160. 1.6 is really good.
Yeah, 2 years on the KLPGA, won a major championship. As we go back to the 9th and the 3rd shot at the par 4 for Gino.
Plenty of green to work with. Really important to pick the perfect spot you want to land it. Sensational shot right there. Especially as the greens firm up, that wind will be a factor. Should she try and play it that way?
Not certain.
That landed.
She's still got plenty of height on it.
And a good place to putt from and getting a little closer. Gino Titigun, really good front 9. This to finish it with a par. Okay. Little errant off the tee in the bunker in 2, up and down.
That's got one of my favorite putting strokes, but for a good putter to be on greens that are this pure, the hole usually looks a lot bigger. You start it on your line, you know that it's going to go in. Just mentally, a good putter who starts a ball on their line, time and time again.
In her home country of Korea, just like Hyo-Joo Kim has got this for par. Major champion and one of the best putters in short games you will ever see.
When you trust your game, it's so much easier to be patient, right?
Interesting.
So sometimes it's easy to just get away from the impatience.
That would explain my impatience. Okay, the second for Hyo-Joo at 17.
I mean, I know we talked...
For sure, you have to be very, very strategic on where you want to see the ball, and you got to be very, very conservative in certain shots and then aggressive. Like in this one, you can't really be too aggressive because you have a bunker and it's not going to spin back, right?
And who knows if this keeps going, it could be Gino, world number 1, and Gabby.
Hyo-Joo getting off to a tough start here. It's really narrowed this leaderboard and allowed a lot of other players.
Well, it's straight as a string. It depends on how it bounces.
Okay, on the green in 2. Not a place that Hyo-Joo Kim is used to.
Towards where the hole is located today, in a slight bit of a funnel or a valley in the middle of this green. Ball a little bit above her feet, so drawing it.
Pretty sporty.
You helped to orchestrate there last night, Kay. It was a lot of fun, as those two always are.
Always. Here's Dong.
Very insightful.
Yeah. The leader, Dong-Eun Lee. Wow, that was for par, and a lot of work left. Gerline Corey, young American from Texas, in there. This is the bogey putt for Dong-Eun Lee. Okay, that's a pretty good save there from 12 feet or so. Even before she started the final round of the AIG Women's Open Eagle Albatross. She really did after that. Here's the Canadian, Leah John. Oh, Canada, are you watching this? Leah making a little run. But in the thick rough, we mentioned no step cut, no first cut here. Just fairway into the thick rough, Gino.
Well, it's going to be anywhere here. The left rough is certainly better than missing right. Gives her a good angle into that right hole location.
Another great approach. As usual, Gino dials it in. And how about this? Gino Titicun.
Just 97 yards left. That was a 320-yard drive for Hyo-Joo. Just a little sand wedge there. Maybe starting to make a little move on this golf course.
Lilia Vu grew up in Southern California, up here a few hours to the north. 69 yesterday, not quite as good today. That's really good.
You know, she was a couple behind to start the day today, but now seeing her name really right there with the chance, a couple of squirrely shots. I mean, at one point was in the lead on her own, so.
Certainly a really good opportunity for 2 birdies in a row. Not much to this putt.
Okay. That's more like the Hyo-Joo Kim we've seen for the better part of a dozen years out on the LPGA Tour. One of the 11 first-time winners last year on the LPGA Tour. How about this second at the second for Hyo-Joo?
Lie not bad at all. Kind of matted down, dried out grass, but understandably went a little long because coming up short would be a very difficult.
Number 1, Gino Titicun making a run today, her second at 14.
It truly is a beautiful golf course. Walking around earlier this week, every hole I got to, I just said, wow, this is beautiful. Wow, this is beautiful. And wow, is that shot beautiful right there. It didn't look like she liked it, but Gino has high standards.
You'd hardly find a place on earth where Lydia hasn't had success, but the Bay Area is one of them. One up the road at Lake Merced. There's a look at Lynn Grant. This is going to get better, and it needs to. She's got comebacker for par for Hyo-Joo Kim.
All in all, a good two-putt there.
And again, as you said, par. Good score at the second. Gino for birdie to get to 6 under.
Might have bobbled a couple times there. We haven't seen much of that so far this week. These greens are so pure.
A little bit more difficult than Troy's. Has more of the right side of the screen, which will kick it to the left coming into play.
Good look there at that rolling just perfectly end over end.
Less than her best. Hyo-Joo, her third at 3.
Challenging putt uphill with some break.
Okay, up to the challenge as usual.
I did not expect that.
Here is Minji Lee. This is at 14 to get it back to 4 under. Minji played last week back home. That worked pretty well for Stacy. All right, here is Jong Eun Lee 5. And this at the 16th to get it to 2 under par.
It's been a pretty quick start to the season. We talk about that victory, but Gino had to take some time off this winter, protecting her wrist. Didn't get as much practice in the offseason as she would have liked, but she wouldn't know it from her performance.
Future is bright, and here's one of the players these youngsters are trying to emulate, Hyo-Joo Kim. Gino for par at 15. Okay, so 6 birdies, but that was important as well. She had had a really nice year on the KLPGA as a 19-year-old. Went to Evian because of her world ranking, shot 61 in that opening round. At her countrywoman, last year's Rookie of the Year and a major champion to boot, Miyu Yamashita. Did that a lot last year.
And again, has that fairway finding game.
This is Nasahata Oka at 14.
And this was from just 90 yards. It's looking pretty good. It's going to use the backstop.
Almost didn't need it. Get some strength, some muscle building in the offseason. Had a little distance. Jinhee M at 14.
10 yards less than that, so just 80 yards.
Even better.
But I always think you play the putt with a speed that is about 12 inches past the hole, and she's done really nicely with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is 3 for 3. They're counting. And from off the green at the 15th, Minji Lee. Flag stick out. Ball in. And Minji joins the group at 5. I mean, it is... We need an entire separate page here.
We're at 5 under. Certainly Gino and a DT there on the day to potentially tie that number.
Lydia can't afford to drop a shot, and she won't at 16. Vintage Lydia. Back at the par 5 fifth. The third shot here, Kay?
It is coming off a downhill lie from 138 yards. Her drive ended up in a nasty lie in the rough. She had to just sandwich, hack it out. So this is certainly going to be a little more of a scrambling hole for her.
This just a moment ago, the leader Hyo-Joo Kim. She's had some long putts. And she's handled them all. Min Ji Lee making a little surge here in the late afternoon swelter.
Hard to see with the bright sunshine and dark shade on this green. That took a softer bounce than some we've seen use that left side. This is Natasha coated.
Look out. Gino Titikun at the 17th used the contours well, gives herself a chance at another birdie. Oh, she's done what she needed to do today, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the story of the way Gino plays. She never really changes her game or her style of play to catch anybody.
All right, Minji, I like your chances for a third straight birdie. Yeah. 3 bogeys, but now 5 birdies on the scorecard.
Her motion is just so simple, Kay. Always keeps the club right in front of her, trying to get this to come back.
Yeah, she would have expected a little more zip back, but 3 birdie putts out of this group. All these courses are very hilly and they have a lot of tilt just because of the nature of the landscape.
Should I move?
I've given that one to her, by the way. She hasn't finished it, but I think I like her chances. Here's Minji for 4 in a row. Minji, come on.
Nearly does. Excellent effort.
Step aside, maybe another year or 2. Hyoju Kim, 3rd at 7.
Sand wedge from just 79 yards. Yeah, get that to spin back. She was hoping to get a little closer, but
well, no surprise, Gino with a big move.
She usually tends to trip the ball in the hole.
Look at this setting here. From sunlight into the shadows at the 8th.
yeah, and that's
Angel.
a pitching wedge. Pitching wedge crank going right over the flagstick.
This will come back.
Lots of slope, and it's going to move to the right once it hits the green. Some creativity in play here, hopefully.
Incredible to think she was the 6th worst putter in terms of strokes gained putting 2 years ago. 2nd best last year. Yes, the long putter helped, but a lot of hard work with it, Morgan.
That puts so much pressure on the rest of your game when you're not putting well.
Hyoju, yeah. Great tee shot, great putt, and first player to get it to double digits under par. Hejin Choi, 3rd shot at the 18th.
Trying to use the slope here. Fantastic shot. I would also say that typically, Kay, but we've seen some really big bounces on this 9th hole. People end up well over the green.
That was a really nice swing.
There's a really big bounce.
Yeah, she can't tell how far by that went. I mean, she executed that beautifully.
Especially with her ability to get it to 12 under. This is a short one for birdie for Hejin Choi. And once again, as she seems to do every other week, she's put herself in position heading into the weekend. Here is Gurleen to finish up.
Yeah, this left to right breaking birdie putt to get back under par. Oh, how good did that feel for her, Morgan?
Especially when you're on that cut line, anything you can do. I mean, she was already in it, but anything you can do to avoid it.
And that's what you fight for and want. This for par.
the only thing worse than playing on the cut line is playing for your card. But on the top of the leaderboard is Hyo-Joo Kim.